What happened when my crush found out I had been helping her secretly for years? I had a crush on this girl for almost 3 years, and the strange thing is, she never knew. We went to the same school, same building, sometimes even the same classes. She was the kind of person everyone liked, always smiling, always surrounded by friends. Meanwhile, I was the quiet guy who usually stayed in the background. But even though we barely talked, I noticed everything about her. The first time I secretly helped her was during our second year. One afternoon after school, I was in the library finishing some work when I noticed a familiar notebook left on one of the tables. It was hers. I had seen it many times before. The next day, we had an important test, so I knew she'd probably be looking for it. I thought about giving it to her directly, but I didn't have the courage. So instead, I came to class early the next morning and quietly left the notebook on her desk before anyone arrived. When she walked into the classroom and saw it, her face instantly changed from worried to relieved. She kept asking everyone if they had found it, but of course, nobody knew. After that day, something strange happened. Helping her quietly became a habit. If she ever dropped something in the hallway, I'd pick it up later and leave it somewhere she'd find it. If she missed a class, somehow a copy of the notes would appear in her bag. One time, her bike chain broke in the parking lot after school, and when nobody was around, I fixed it. She always thought someone kind was helping her, but she never knew who. And honestly, I never planned to tell her. Seeing her smile was enough for me. Years passed like that. Then one afternoon, during the last week before graduation, I was cleaning out my locker when I suddenly felt someone tap my shoulder. I turned around, and it was her. My heart started beating so fast, I thought she might actually hear it. She looked at me for a moment and then asked a question that completely caught me off guard. Was it you? At first, I pretended I didn't understand what she meant, but then she opened her bag and pulled out an old notebook. The same notebook I had returned years ago. Inside the cover was a small sticker, the same kind I used to put on all of my own notebooks. I must have accidentally left it there. She noticed, and once she did, she slowly started connecting the dots. The notebook, the notes, the bike, all the little things. Then she smiled, and instead of being weirded out, she simply said, "I've been trying to figure out who my secret helper was for 2 years." I didn't really know what to say. I just stood there feeling awkward and nervous. But then she thanked me. Not casually, but sincerely. She told me that those small things had actually helped her during some really stressful times, and knowing that someone cared enough to help, even secretly, meant a lot to her. Then she said something I never expected. She asked if we could start over, not as strangers, but as friends. We ended up talking for almost an hour that day. And the funny thing is, for 3 years, I thought my story with her was completely one-sided. But sometimes people notice more than you think. They just take a little longer to say it.